Hey there, Andrew here with South Appalachian weather. It is July 20th. Had to look at the clock there, 3 o'clock-ish p.m. Eastern Daylight Time as I'm recording this. This time a briefing for really a complex weather system that is affecting our area, but also to clarify some things related to the official forecast across our region, which really is, again, the focus of this channel, to bring together all these pieces of information and bring us a local focus for our region, from Polk County, Tennessee, over to Clay County, North Carolina, down to Towns County, Georgia, and across to Gilmer County, Georgia. So again, that region is where I'm meaning when I say the word region. Now, just to address this outright, there is a very dynamic storm system that will be moving through the Midwestern U.S. over the next couple of days. Now, because of that has already raised the alert level a bit for the Storm Prediction Center and for some of our local weather forecast offices, because areas to our north are going to be impacted by that storm system. Now, before I even show you a map though, I want to show a couple things that are already circulating through our community right now. And these are the official forecasts from two different weather service offices, the two that cover our region. Morristown, or up around Knoxville, which covers everything from the Georgia line northward. And then we'll look at the forecast or the hazardous weather outlook from the Peachtree City office, or Atlanta, which covers everything from the Georgia line southward. So firstly, from Morristown, I'm not going to read this entire thing. Actually, a lot of this is just the header highlighting the counties overall that are covered by this hazardous weather outlook. But if you look at that highlighted portion I've got there on the days 2 through 7, Tuesday through Sunday, they're talking about a cold front arriving Tuesday into Wednesday, bringing more rounds of showers and storms like we've already been seeing over the last several days, some of which could be strong to severe. Damaging winds, flooding, and even an isolated tornado are all possible. And then we also have a spotter information statement stating that spotter activation may be needed. Now, spotters are weather spotters, part of Skywarn, which is the National Weather Service's trained weather spotter program. If you'd like some more information about that, just check out weather.gov and look for the Skywarn information. It's a great program to be a part of. You can get trained by the National Weather Service on what to recognize and how to submit reports to them when we have severe weather. Now, that's the outlook that is officially in effect for the northern half of our region. If we take a look at the one from Peachtree City now, I won't even read all the details, but if you glance at that and look at that days 2 through 7, they're just talking about scattered thunderstorms, not even mentioning anything severe. And then they're mentioning heat concerns as well, and then also stating, as they usually do, spotter activation is not requested, but spotters are encouraged to submit reports. So, as you can see, right dead half across our region, and I'm going to pull up the map now of our region. First off, this is the Day 2 Storm Prediction Center outlook for severe weather. And I want to highlight first, before you even look at the pretty colors, look at the blue lines. Those blue lines highlight the different weather forecast office regions or county warning areas. Our region is cut right in half by one of those blue lines. Here's the important part. Look at the northern half up there north of Knoxville. And I realize I'm getting in a lot of detail and going through a lot of maps and details for this. But this, again, is why I wanted to start this channel to begin with, or one of the main reasons why, is to bring together all these pieces of information and bring some clarity for us here locally when we have a bit of a discrepancy sometimes between these two outlooks in this information. So if you look at it, from Knoxville northward, there is that slight risk for severe weather tomorrow. And then from there southward, our entire region is in a marginal risk, north and south of the Georgia line. Here's what this means. When you're reading that information from Morristown in this case, largely they're talking about the northern half of their territory, which covers all the way up into Virginia. Whereas out of Atlanta, out of the Peachtree City office, they cover all the way down basically to Warner Robins and southward in middle Georgia. So there's a lot of area north-south that's covered by these outlooks. And I wanted to highlight this because all of this boils down to this. There is a possibility of some isolated severe thunderstorms tomorrow with that marginal risk. Not even to the extent that I'm really that concerned about it. If anything, they're going to look relatively garden variety compared to the severe thunderstorm that we had last night over in Fannin County, or the severe weather we had a couple of days ago on Saturday with a pretty significant, won't call it outbreak, but a pretty significant scattering of severe weather, including some flooding across our region. I'm not really anticipating even that much as far as out of this storm. Could we see an isolated severe thunderstorm? Yes. During the summer, that's kind of always a possibility. This frontal system is going to be moving in, but another thing to mention, we're really not even going to see a cool down. Notice I said front. North of us, from Knoxville northward, there will be a smidge of a drying in the air, so it'll feel a little bit cooler. But our region, not really so much. Continuing on with the humid regime, continuing on with the summertime pattern. So that this doesn't get much longer, I realize this is already a pretty extended briefing. Basically, I wanted to highlight this, not to say that either one of these forecasts are wrong. They're not wrong, but we have to remember them in the context of where they're coming from and how much area they're covering. So anytime you're seeing these official forecasts from the National Weather Service, bear in mind these hazardous weather outlooks at least, you have to remember where they are in effect for. Because it's not just for you, it's not just for your house or your county. We're talking about dozens of counties across multiple states in the case of Morristown, and in the case of Peachtree City, most of the state of Georgia being covered by these outlooks. So again, all of that to say, always a good time to be weather aware when we have a system moving through even the vicinity of our region. And I always try to make sure to put something out here on the channel if we have that happening. But as far as our actual impacts here locally, I'm not really anticipating much. And bear in mind, here in the mountains, we can have, I was talking to someone earlier today, we can have a thunderstorm on one side of the road and not the other. That's the nature of mountain weather, and that's the nature of what we have to deal with living in this region. So stay weather aware, but I'm not really that worried. That doesn't mean be complacent. That doesn't mean just go about your day as if there's not even a chance of rain. There is a chance of showers and thunderstorms around today and tomorrow, and some isolated storms could be severe tomorrow. But again, I wanted to highlight this. The forecasts aren't wrong, but you have to remember them in context. The Storm Prediction Center even, you have to remember it in context. Just because you can zoom in on a map to housetop level with a Storm Prediction Center outlook does not mean it was ever meant to be looked at in that way. Storm Prediction Center outlooks, these severe weather outlooks, slight risk, these things that I keep talking about here on the channel, those are half a state type of territories that they're talking about. And we have to remember that again in context. So with that, have a great rest of the week. My honest hope is that we're not really going to have much as we go through the next few days. It's going to be hot, going to be humid, going to have some storms around. But hopefully this should be it for us for at least the next few days. I will put a briefing out if something significant changes with the forecast tomorrow. But again, I don't really anticipate that because right now the main focus for the severe weather out of this system appears to be Knoxville and northward, the I-40 corridor and northward.